Hello. How's everyone doing? Let me just check this is all working properly. Cool. All right. Welcome back to the live streams. Yeah, I'm going to be carrying on with this animation. This is where I got to last time. Yeah, and in the last stream I kind of walked through a bit of my process. So I've got this this animation all kind of storyboarded out. And it's like just a new little fun animation for me to do. And post on Instagram and all my socials and that. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to carry on with this today. Yeah, so in the last stream, yeah, basically just got this going on, the ball and square bouncing in. And after the stream, I just went through and just added some markers with some notes of what I want to do. Yeah, and I do this quite a lot just to, remind myself of what I need to do next. But I think I'm going to ignore these today, and because this is stuff, this is sort of final polish kind of stuff. So I think I'm just going to carry on with roughing out the actual animation. So if I take a look at my storyboard, so we got these shapes bouncing in and the square scaling up, but now I want to carry the motion of the circle on as well and have it be bouncing around inside the square. And then in my storyboard I've got it kind of settling a bit and then rising up and kind of bursting out the square. So I'm not sure how much time I have today, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I think I can definitely get this section here with the ball bouncing around in the square done. But then, yeah, just see how far I get with it really. Yeah, let's 2 hours. So crack on, make a start. So yeah, here I basically have these two shapes and they are both cutting off here, and then this composition above is taking over. So if I turn it off, we can see that they're just cutting at this point. So I think the way I wanted to approach this is have the circle bouncing around here, in here, do that animation in here, and then in this comp I will then rotate the square as well, so it's just a little bit easier. Yeah, and I'm just going to have a look at some of these notes and see if there is actually anything I can do with these today. Okay, so I got shape flicker, so I think I can do that today. I've got that going on down here. This for one frame, the circle changes to this different kind of highlighted color. So I think I want to do that again, around about here, just before it comes down. So yeah, let's just do that. Not sure if I want it to be the same kind of flicker. We'll see. Let's find those keyframes for that though. I think that's those here. Yeah, cool. Maybe if I have that happen here. Yeah, that feels good. And I want some flicker on the square as well, I think, so let's have a look at that. Guess I can change it in here. Maybe I can change the blue color to this darker blue. Set keyframe for the colors, and then edit the gradient. And maybe I'll change the other color as well. Let's change it to this lighter white color. And maybe we'll hold it for 2 frames instead of 1, because it's not really that readable. Where am I going? Yeah. It's very subtle, but I'll leave it in there. And maybe we'll move it here. I don't like it. I don't want it to be in time with the circle. I want them to kind of be staggered a little bit. Cool. And then what else have I written down here? Overshoot background rotation. Okay. So if we have a look here. So yeah, on this background, you can see it's rotating like so. So I wanted to try maybe overshoot it a little bit. What other keyframes do we have on here? Okay, yeah, so maybe it goes like just solo this for now. Maybe it goes to here, maybe a little less, maybe like 10. And then comes back at this point. It's got this posterized time expression on it, so it's like kind of stops for a little bit too long. It's like too noticeable. So maybe this can be like a really small number, like 4 or something. Yeah, that feels better. I also got warp on background, so yeah, so let's try that as well. I got so many effects on this background. Let's do fisheye, and then it's kind of like adding a little bit of anticipation to the background and just like layering up the animation. Excuse me. So yeah, let's try something with this. Okay. So maybe start the keyframe here. Comes to this point, or maybe a little bit before actually, because yeah, I want it to like be in time with when the square is scaling up. So if I go like minus 40, and then if I go the opposite way, kind of get this like bulging effect on the background, which kind of hard to see actually, but it will go in time with the square scaling up as well. Let's just see how that looks. And maybe add a little bit of easing to this keyframe. See how that looks. Cool. That's kind of a little bit too much. My After Effects is kind of being slow, so let's put this on like half. So I feel like that could start a bit sooner. Hey Lorenzo, good to see you, man. Love your work. Thank you very much. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. And maybe let's make this minus 15 instead, so it's not so much. Just a little bit of subtle background animation. Cool, that works. Cool, okay. Let's delete these markers since I've done this one, and this one, and this one. Now let's jump into this comp and yeah, do this stuff. So while this is scaling up, I wanted to try do this like effect with the gradient on the inside and have it like rotate. So how can I do that? I mean, I'm just gonna have to like keyframe it like so, sort of thing. Yeah, let's just try this, see if it works. I'm gonna do it up here first so I can see what I'm doing. So how many? Cool, okay, so that scales up in 6 frames. So let's do like 3 frames between these. And we're gonna want this to be the end, so that's like work backwards. Cool, so that kind of looks like it's yeah, looks like it's rotating. Maybe we do Like one more. Where's it going? Okay, so if I were to do one more, they would be here like this. Yep. Cool, okay, so let's easy ease these, and if I do right click on these middle keyframes and do rove across time, so those are all linear, and I couldn't, like, if I wanted to add some easing, like I couldn't just add the easing to the whole motion. It would be like kind of like stop start sort of thing, if that makes sense. So if I do rove across time, I can just ease these two keyframes here, and all these middle keyframes will like follow that kind of easing. So I want it to like be quick at the start and then like ease out nice and slow like that. Let's see how that looks with the rotation up as well. Yep, that's very subtle, but just like adds a little something to it. And let's bring that in maybe. Nah. Maybe let's make it start a little bit after. Yeah. And maybe I'll make this. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. Yeah, let's make this yeah. Talal. Hey, yeah. First time I know this. Yeah. It's a cool little handy. I've like hardly ever used this that like rove across time thing, but I just thought about it then. Just thought it'd be work well with that rotation. It's good to like know about, like, know lots of little tricks. You don't always have to use them, but when you have situations when they're good to use, and you can pull them out, sort of thing. But yeah, that's working. Yeah. Where's everyone from who's watching at the moment and wants to type in chat? I'm interested to know. Cool, and I think I might add some like overshoot to the square, so it like comes up and then like settles. And I think I might just do that with a expression. So if I set this keyframe to be linear, I've got an expression here. This is a script called kbar, and you can like save expressions and shortcuts and all sorts of things, and like make buttons, turn them into buttons rather. So I have an expression here, and if I just click this, puts the expression into my scale property. Now we can see it adds that overshoot, that kind of like bouncy overshoot. And that's like lasting a little bit too long. So if I go into the expression, I can change it up a little bit. And I always forget what these values do. So I always just like, if I just set it to 10, go the like extreme. Okay. So the higher the value that is, like the less like it decays faster. So if I set this to like 7 maybe. Yeah, and then maybe the frequency can be 1.6 6. Oh, Saudi, Italy. Nice. They're big, like, they're big motion design scenes where you guys are from. I live in Plymouth in the UK, and there's like, it's a very small motion design scene. But with COVID and working remotely, like, it doesn't really matter anymore. But I was all interested to know. Maybe 1.8. Cool. So it has, the square has like a very nice little bit of overshoot there. And now let's get this circle bouncing around in the square. I'm not really sure how I'm going to approach this, but I mean, I'm probably just going to do it in the same way I've got these like opening bounces going, which is to just keyframe the points in. How do you do a video from scratch, like from idea? Well, for something like this, I kind of like walked through this at the start of last stream, but I'll go through it again quite quickly. So I have an app on my iPad called Good Notes, and like pencil and paper or anything else would work fine for this as well. But I knew I wanted to create another like social animation. Yeah, I always want to practice, but I struggle and I don't know what to do. Yeah, it is really hard coming up with ideas. And I like quite often I'll go through phases of like really wanting to create stuff, and then phases where I'm like a little bit less inspired or motivated to like practice or create stuff. But for this, like, I knew I wanted to do another. I have like a series called Flexing Those Keyframes, where it's just like a 1080 by 1080 loop that I post on my socials. So I'll just show you some examples real quick. So it's like these things here. Yeah, so I basically wanted to create some more of these because they're a bit fun and they help me like oh, sorry, they help me like practice and try out new things. So basically just like go on Instagram, Behance, Vimeo, Pinterest, find inspiration and just like sketch out loads of ideas that come to mind. And they don't really have to be an animation or be anything at this point. It's just ideas for movement. So like, I don't know, maybe this middle circle could scale up and these outer circles go with it. Or I was thinking I could do something with 3D cubes, some like bunch of circles spinning. And you can see like ideas starting to form. So this is something I drew quite early on, and that is now in the storyboard. So I want to include that in this animation. And you can see I made a style frame for that. So just sketch out as much stuff as I can, as many ideas, and then I start to like slowly refine them down into more and more of a storyboard, and like start to really think about how stuff can move, and then just keep drawing stuff out and thinking about things. Oh, sorry. Oh, and then eventually I have a good idea for what I want to do based off of like all the inspiration that I've like got and all the stuff I've sketched out, and then just turn it into a storyboard. And this is still very rough and I probably won't stick to this 100%, but this is like giving me a jumping off point. A good place to start, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I hope that kind of helps for process. And you can see as well on my website, this is another personal project. I do the same sort of stuff, just lots of sketches, and then refine that down into I didn't really do a storyboard for this. This is more like just doing it as I go, but the same sort of process to start with. Yeah. That row across time trick didn't work. That's strange. It should do. I'll just show it again here. It might be on like certain keyframes, like maybe it won't work on rotation. I'm not really too sure. Oh god, this cough is playing me up. Okay, so if I do this and then this, you have to have at least one keyframe in the middle and then rove across time, and then you can see we're not like stopping here in the middle, we're just, this like arc is all one movement sort of thing. So if I do this, you can see it just goes like that. But yeah, I'm not really too sure why that's wouldn't be working. Okay, so pardon me. Okay, so I want to kind of like carry on this same motion of this circle, so maybe it starts okay. Yeah, so maybe it starts like in this motion it's heading downwards. So maybe the first bounce can start from the center. Let's center this. Maybe we go down here. And I'm just gonna like very roughly block this out to start with. So go down here, and then up here. And I don't want to have these Bezier handles, so again, I'm gonna go to keyframe interpolation and just put it to linear. So we just get these straight lines. Go like this, and then maybe we can bounce off up to here. And I want this to be like super fast at the start, and then like kind of start to slow down a little bit as it settles. Yeah, so I'm just blocking out where I want it to go, and then I think more about the easing and how it moves once I've got it blocked out. And this might be another good time to use that rover cross time effect. Oh god. Cool. Okay, that's... yeah. Not quite right yet, but we'll get there. That feels a little bit weird. It's like traveling like this and then it pings off down a weird angle, so maybe this can be more like goes here, maybe. Yeah, that feels a bit better. And then let's delete these and carry on from here. Just curious, are you working as a freelancer or are you working with a studio? Yeah, so I went freelance full-time in September of this year, so I've been freelancing for like 4 months now. But yeah, planning to stay as a freelancer for now. I've been enjoying it and been able to work with some cool studios and get on some cool projects, so yeah, it's going pretty well. Yeah. And the place, I was working full time before that with an agency, and they were like super nice and it was a really cool place to work, but I just wanted to like try something new and get some more variety in the work I was doing, so decided to go freelance. Which also means I have a bit more freedom to be doing stuff like this, you know, in my downtime. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Cool, so I'm going to figure out the easing on this, but I think at this point here, it can like maybe like bounce up into the center and then bounce back up, and then we're sort of like at this point here. So it's kind of like losing its momentum, and then it can like bounce again, and then like get some momentum and burst through the top, sort of thing. Yeah, so let's try to figure out the easing on this. And I'll probably have it scale it up a bit at the start, because it's just appearing at the moment, but I'll do that in a minute. Yeah, so I'm just going to go through, figure out the timing, and then I'll do the easing. And I'm just like using my control and arrow keys to like count how many frames forward I'm going. So on these longer movements, I'll try and keep it like 4 frames, and then the shorter ones can be like 1 or 2 frames long. I'm enjoying the stream so much. I always wanted to watch someone work, but not like the original YouTube videos. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these up on my YouTube channel as well, so people can go back and watch through them all, and yeah, watch the process of how this is done. But yeah, I enjoy doing this, just like sharing the process and talking about it as I go. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay, we're getting there with the timing. And I think I'm going to use the echo effect as well, so I can probably just show that here. Oh. Sorry about my cough. It's very annoying. Oh. Yeah, so, and then that will like give us some nice smears as we're like bouncing around. But yeah, I'm also like, I've got a star frame. I'm also going to do these trails as well, so maybe I only do like a really subtle echo effect, and then these trails can like give it the sense of movement. But yeah, I'm going to leave that for now and just figure this out. Do you have a degree in design? Sorry for such a... No worries. I'm happy to answer your questions. No, I don't have a degree at all in design or anything. I kind of got into this when I was 15, 16, and I was like... I got into making YouTube videos, and I got into like the editing side of that, and I was just like playing video games with my friends and editing videos of us, of like clips of us playing games and sticking them on YouTube. And like I did that for like a year or two, and I got really into like the editing side of that while I was doing that, and I was like trying to make the videos like really cool with the editing. And then that led me into starting to use After Effects. And then I went to college, but not like, it's kind of weird because Americans call university college, but I went to college when I was 16. And and you can do that in the UK. You can either stay at school when you're 16 and do something called sixth form, or leave and go to college until you're 18, and then you can go to university. And I went to college and just did like a really generic media course. When I did that, I then sort of found motion design through just using After Effects for like editing. And yeah, I just became obsessed with motion design and followed all the tutorials like Mount MoGraph and School of Motion and all those guys. And I just made loads of stuff. I was doing like YouTube intros for small YouTubers and streaming graphics, and through that I just like built up some work and a portfolio, and I got a job straight out of college at like a little agency quite close to where I live. So yeah, I kind of like didn't really have to. Well, I didn't go to school at all, and for design anyway. Yeah, I kind of like got lucky that the agency reached out to me through seeing my work on social media, and I was just posting lots of stuff on Twitter and LinkedIn. But my advice for people who are just starting out would be to do the same, really. Just post loads of stuff online, build up some work, and then reach out to some like local studios, and be like, you know, ask if you can intern, or maybe they have like a junior job opening. But yeah, that's how I got into it. I also saw that it was snowing a bit in the UK. Yeah, it is. I live like quite close to the sea in Plymouth, so we don't, I think because of the sea air, we don't really get as much snow. There's been snow like an hour away from where I live, but there hasn't actually been any snow near me yet. I wonder if there will be at all. But yeah, it is snowing in lots of places in the UK at the moment. It's very cold. Hence why I've got a cough and a bit of a cold. Okay, this is going to be a hard one to figure out, I think. But I think I'm getting there with the timing of these bounces. Let's see how it looks out here. Okay. Just trying to figure out this opening movement. It's hard to like envision it looking good at the moment, but yeah, once I start layering up the animation, it should start to come together. I hope. So I'm going to add some rotation to this as well for now, just to get an idea. You gotta go? Yeah, no worries. Thanks for stopping by and watching. Yeah, this will be up on YouTube afterwards, on my YouTube channel. Yeah, thanks man. Thank you. Yeah, they'll be in here in this. You can see my last one here. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Maybe this needs to be even faster. Something about it that's just not looking right. Yeah, let's try and make this faster. Okay. And maybe I'm wondering if I should like try and add these trails in now, whether it like kind of bring it to life a bit and make it feel a bit better. I'm gonna try easing this first though. I might try to do that. Oh, excuse me. I might try to do the rove across time thing on all these middle keyframes. Let's just try some stuff out. OMG, I want to try this trick ASAP. Yeah. It's weird because I hardly ever use it, and now I'm like, just for this project, it's just working for me. It is coming in handy. Let's turn this off because this is not in the right place. Let's adjust this and then turn it back on. I don't even know if I want to use that row across time thing here. I'm not sure if it's the best way of doing it. Let's undo. We got two Lorenzos. Lorenzo Dossi? I'm sorry if that's wrong. Let's replace the other Lorenzo. Oh, this is a tricky one. Okay, I want to control the Bezier handle on this, so I'm gonna put this to Bezier. So now these handles are back. So I'm like trying to ease out of this speedy motion. So we can bounce. And we want to drag this one like so. So at this highest point here, it's slow, and then we're easing back down fast. I probably want to move that up a little bit more, like so. That feels kind of good. doing motion or having me as a radio is quite relaxing. I do the same. I'd just like stick on Austin Bowens. I'm sure some people know who he is. Stick on his streams and just leave it playing in the background. It's just like something to listen to while you're working, isn't it? Gets you in the zone a little bit more. Hi, could you write down the characteristics of your PC, please? My PC. I can show you real quick. I'm not really much of a computer person, so like don't really know what's good. I know the basics. But yeah. I used a School of Motion article, which kind of spoke about the best After Effects PC, and I kind of just use that as a base for my PC. But I'll try to find my PC specs real quick to show you. Here we go. This is my specs, except I swapped out the i7 for a i9. Yeah, and I got some SSDs to stick my After Effects cache on, and I've now also updated that to a 3070 Ti graphics card, I think, for some more Cinema 4D Redshift stuff. But yeah, that's my specs. Are you going to animate the square shape like it's resisting the circle? Yeah, definitely. That's something I want to do. That's a good idea. Yeah, like, I'm not sure how to... Maybe like a mesh warp or something. I will get around to that. And then if I add some more points, you can see we can like do stuff like this on the square, so it's kind of like stretching it and stuff a little bit, and I can animate the mesh warp, but I will get to that once I've figured out this kind of like motion of the circle, which is a little bit boring to watch probably, but once I figure it out, it should be pretty good. Can you share with us your saved scripts? Yeah, I'm not really sure how. I tried to put this one in the chat last time. Which is this like overshoot bouncy motion, but it's too long to be copy and pasted into the chat. So if you want to type this out, which is probably a little bit annoying to do, I'm very sorry. It's here. And this will like, I've used this to have the slight jiggly bouncy motion on the square as it comes up. And then the only other one I have is this text animator one, which maybe I'll talk about another time, but that's here as well. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Do that for next time. And I'll make sure I share a link in the chat. I'll get that set up. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go get another drink. 2 seconds. One sec, I'm just going to mute my mic as well. I have to leave the stream, but definitely will be here next time. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for watching. Yeah, like I said, it would be up on YouTube if you want to watch the rest of the process. And I'm still just trying to fine tune this motion. And maybe even it's bouncing too many times. Maybe I need to simplify it. So it's just like do-do-do. Not like do-do-do-do, like all over the place. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Maybe let's try simplify this a little bit. Maybe it only needs to be like a few points it bounces off of. I want to try like have it at least touch each side of the square, you know, so it doesn't look like it's just bouncing around in one corner. Maybe that looks a little bit wacky. I just need to fix these handles here. It's feeling a bit better. It's getting there. And then on this used keyframe here, I feel like it's bouncing in a bit too quick, so maybe we bring in this handle a little bit so it like holds a little bit longer and then we're moving quick, if that makes sense. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. Let's see how this looks out here. Cool, and maybe even quicker. If that's possible. Okay, right, let's start putting in these trails, I reckon. Just see how it looks. And I want to have this like shading, so I think I'm gonna have to do them like individually. So like each movement, so from this keyframe to this keyframe, it has a trail that I'm animating on, and then to up here is a new layer with a new trail, so then I can do this like shading and overlapping. I feel like that's probably a good way of doing it. And something that I can add quite quickly now is I want this to like be shaking a little bit while it's bouncing around, like it's rattling around inside the square. So I'm going to do that by adding a slider control, and I was doing this quite a bit on the last stream as well. I'm going to call this wiggle control. And I'm just going to use a wiggle expression on this position property. Yeah, so wiggle, set it to like 12, and then, so this is the frequency. So it's like wiggling 12 times a second, and this is how much it's going to wiggle by. So I'm going to connect this to this slider. It needs another bracket on the end there. Cool. So then using this, we can like start off, so it's wiggling around loads, and then keyframe it so it like fades out. So let's do something like this. And add some easing. Okay, that is working. It's just not super noticeable. So I can increase this number at the start. Do you find flow plugin useful or just very aesthetically pleasing? I do use it. Like, you know, it's there to like help me. So like if I know I want some easing, you know, like this, then this is like a good starting point. But I am like, it's more to just like speed me up when I'm like, if I'm like using the same easing on like a bunch of, say, like different icons, then I can just click apply easy. But if I'm like, you know, doing something more custom like this, then I like to just like do the easing myself a little bit, unless there is, you know, a bit of easing here that I know I can just stick on. Yeah. But yeah, it has its purposes, but not all the time. It is aesthetically pleasing as well, just to have up there. It looks good. It's all about having a pretty workspace, right? And maybe this frequency number is a bit lower. Okay, maybe even lower. That would do for now. Like I said, I want to try out these trails in. What font is the cover of the stream? What font is the cover of the stream? I think it's Transducer, I think is what it's called. Let's just have a little quick look. Yeah, it's Transducer. Transducer, yeah. It's an Adobe font. It's on Adobe fonts. Transducer black. Okay. Let's start drawing in these trails. So we want the fill. And how do they look in this style frame I did? Okay, so they're just connected to the edge of the circle. And these can go below the circle, and I'll make these like an orange color. I'm just thinking, is it going to be easier to do these with a stroke? Yeah, I think so. And then I can use trim paths to animate them instead of like faffing about with doing it with masks. Let's call this Trail 01. Yeah, no worries, you're welcome. It's always hard to find a good font for like YouTube thumbnails because they're like a bit of a awkward. Don't want anything too small and thin, else it's just not readable on YouTube. Cool. And something I can also do on these trails, if I come into the stroke, let's add some taper to them as well, maybe. Or maybe not. Oh, actually, yeah. And then if I size it back up again, we can do some tapering like that. Cool. I'm probably gonna have to animate the path of these, so because like the square is still scaling up at this point. So then if I do this, or maybe I don't. Maybe I just parent these to the square. No, I can't do that either because it's not the scale that's moving up. What if I do this? No, okay, let's just keyframe that. Okay, I'll sort that out later. I also want to like, I want to just be able to like have a clean cut. So if I bring them all the way down, and then I'll create a mat of the square to crop the like bleeding edges of this path. But I'll do that once all the animation is more set in stone. Okay. And then let's make another one. And that's trail 2. I'm suffering from creative block, please help. Yeah, that's a hard one. I was talking earlier about like my process, and I think just starting something and just sketching out loads of random stuff, even if it, you know, doesn't make any sense as an animation yet, is sort of what I do. Just get loads of ideas down, and then I like refine these into more and more so into an animation. And you can sort of see my process here, and then I'm like, okay, from all of this I'm like, okay, I have some ideas, let's start like storyboarding a more like cohesive animation out. That's how I get through it. You just gotta power through it sometimes. And you can see like even this is an early sketch, and that's like carried on through, and there's, you know, I want to include that in an animation now. There's a style frame for it there. But yeah, just you know, find some inspiration, maybe just take a break and then come back to it. Yeah. And this is like a really awkward way of doing these trails, but but I want to get this like effect where they look like they're folding over each other, so they ideally need to all be like individual paths. But then the square's scaling up. I'm going to do this in reverse ways to save a bit of headache. Let's start from here and go backwards. I need to like match up the angle of this path to the actual motion. Cool. Cool. I think I'm gonna have to do something like this where like it's not leaving any of these like open spaces, and then I can just trim paths it into the shapes I need and then mask all the points inside the square. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. Cool. Yeah, this is quite tedious, but should allow me to have pretty good control of what it looks like in the end. So I'm just gonna power through sticking these in. Come on. Very awkward to get it lined up. Okay, I'll do. Run out of time, I've been told. Okay. 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 Pretty much all those trails are in now. That's such a tedious way of doing it, but hopefully it will help me make it look good. Yeah, and I can sort all that out next time. But yeah, I am running out of time, so I think I'm gonna have to leave it there. I haven't really got a whole lot done today, but yeah, I don't have loads of time. But yeah, we're making progress. It's getting there. Very rough so far, but I need to layer up the animation and just keep working at it and it will get there. But yeah, I've been streaming for what, hour and a half ish, so I think I'm gonna leave it there for today and then carry on next time. I might just sort these trails out off stream so I can use them for next time. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there for today. So yeah, this will be up on my YouTube channel. And thank you for everyone who's stopped by for a little bit today. It's been good fun. So yeah, cool. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.